Back at Sherrod Field, class of 1952 stadium, the Princeton Tigers taking on the NJIT Highlanders. Cody Crushell thanking you for joining us tonight on the Ivy League Network and the Princeton IMG Sports Network. The Tigers 1-2 overall, a double overtime victory on a goal by Riley Thompson to open up the season a couple of weeks ago back on February 17th, and then back-to-back losses on the road against nationally ranked Virginia and then nationally ranked Johns Hopkins this past Saturday. NJIT looking for its first win of the season. The Highlanders are 0-6. Goaltending matchup, Tyler Blaisdell tonight making his 38th consecutive start. He's been a starter since midway through his freshman season. He's been tested this year, seeing over 50 shots a game, second in the nation with 14 saves per game. His counterpart, another battle-tested senior from New Jersey, Nick Marzullo, who's been the starter his 4 years here for NJIT. He's starting for the 44th time in 49 games that NJIT has played all time. Couple of changes for the Tigers, nothing offensively, but defensively. Armin Medgalci stays in the lineup on close defense. Daniel Winshew, Aaron Roberts are out. Charlie Terry, the junior, George Bond, the freshman, are in. Bond was a Pole. He made his college debut on Saturday in that loss at Hopkins. He'll play on close defense alongside Charlie Terry and Armin Medgalci. And for the Tigers, Sowers, Brown, Robertson on attack, McCarthy, Thompson, and Sims at midfield. Something to keep an eye on today is the face-off X. Neither of these teams has been successful. The Tigers, the 6th worst in the nation on the face-off, 33%. NJIT, second worst in Division I. Only Detroit has one fewer. The Highlanders 29% at the X. Ralph Schrappa set to take the first one for the Tigers against Adam Gonzalez for the Highlanders. Still a little bit of daylight, but the lights are on here at Sherrod Field. It is chilly. It's a little bit windy as the ball is down. Schrappa kicking it back. And Ralph Schrappa will win it to himself. Send it back to his netminder, Blaisdell. Knocked out of bounds off the stick of Aaron Forster, and it's Princeton's possession. So the Tigers will go on offense to start this one. Tyler Blaisdell starting it from his own cage as the Tigers attack from right to left. Up ahead, Sims. Now here's Thompson. Riley Thompson breaking it in down to our left. The Tigers clear it and have the first possession of the contest. Princeton wearing white from head to toe. NJIT, the white helmets with the red jerseys and shorts. Blue trim down the side. The Highlanders, their 5th season as a program. 2 wins, 46 losses on their ledger. Here's Sims to Sowers. He'll wrap it top side. He shoots it, scores. Give him 98 career points, too shy of 100 for Sowers, who opens up the scoring 49 seconds in for the Tigers. 6th goal of the season, point number 16 for the sophomore from Dresher, Pennsylvania. The 3rd-team All-American a year ago makes it 1-0 Tigers. Back to the face-off X. Schrappa won the first one. He'll match up against Adam Gonzalez once again. 2 sophomores tangling. Schrappa from Bronxville, New York. Adam Gonzalez from Bud Lake, New Jersey, out of Mount Olive High School. 1-0 Tigers. Ball is down. Gonzalez funnels it through his legs back towards the NJIT line. Giving chase is Bauer for the Tigers, and the pole has it for Princeton. George Bond was one of their long stick midfielders on Saturday when he made his college debut. He moves to close defense, so Andrew Song, Nick Bauer, kind of the 2 main poles tonight for Matt Madelon. At least that's what you would expect. Tigers with an early 1-0 lead. Robertson funneling it up to the top. Coming in off the bench, Emmett Cordray. Second midfield line out there for the Tigers, although Austin Sims is still out there mixing and matching with Cordray and Gate. Here's Sims dodging. Sims passes behind the cage. Robertson, low pass. Here's Brown on the attack, the freshman lefty. Switches places at X down to our left as the Tigers look for goal number 2. Over the cage, going low to high and getting stopped is Braden Gate. Up to the challenge is Nick Marzullo, the senior from Matawan, New Jersey. Score remains 1-0 Tigers, and NJIT quickly clearing it down to our right with 13 minutes to go in the first. Nick Marzullo, Saturday at Quinnipiac, a rough one as it was for the entire Highlanders team. He was pulled 8 minutes in, allowed 5 goals, did not make a save. NJIT in that loss used 3 goalies. All 3 they have on their roster. Outside of that game, though, they've been more competitive this year. A couple of 2 or 3 goal losses. The only other time that they really weren't in it was against 12th ranked Army a couple of weeks ago. First offensive possession today for the Highlanders under the direction of head coach Travis Johnson. He's been there since the beginning, coming off the sideline. Colin Fogarty taking the pass, thought about firing, but he'll work it back up top to Ryan Darrow. So it's Fogarty, Darrow, and Colton Johnson out there at midfield to start this one for the Highlanders. Ryan Caden, Cole Robillard, and Aaron Forster, their leading scorers, the 3 on attack. 1-0 Tigers, 3 minutes gone by in the first. Pass to X, deflected. Out of bounds, tipped by the Tigers, so it stays with NJIT. George Bond got his pole on that one. Highlanders with the restart. Down by a goal here, 3 minutes into the contest. Ryan Darrow, the midfielder, dodging in, passes it way over the outstretched stick of Caden out of bounds, and NJIT turns it over. The Highlanders this year, 7 goals a game, allowing just under 13. Tigers quickly clearing it in. Jasper Arnold playing with the short stick at defensive midi. He'll clear it in down to our left, and the Tigers are on the attack for the 3rd time. Sowers scored on the first possession. Marzullo made a nice save on the second trip down the field. And now take 3 for Matt Madelon's squad. Pat March, the offensive coordinator. His 2nd season here in New Jersey. Here's Sims, a step on his man. Passes behind the cage, low pass kicked around by Sowers. Jostling for position, we have, it's like a push, and the Tigers turn it over. Right in there for NJIT was John Tashon with possession. Highlanders trying to clear it, knocked out of the stick of Shane Plockoy temporarily. He'll get it back and send it to Nick Marzullo. Princeton, a tough 2-man ride. Robertson running sideline to sideline. Sowers in there, and they turn it over. Pass intercepted in the middle of the field. Dawson McKenzie has it for the Tigers, who are pushing from right to left. McKenzie clears it for Princeton, possession number 4. Princeton the last 2 games has only had 44 possessions. This is already their 4th today. Top of the box, running laterally. Strib Walker, second midfielder. Now Sims on the move, goes left-handed and scores to make it 2-0. Good sign for the Tigers. Austin Sims checking in with his 4th goal of the season, and he needed that one. Sims, 3 of 36 this season, after he was a 2nd-team All-Ivy League selection a year ago, but he makes it 2-0 Tigers. Sims last year, 27 tallies in just 10 games. He missed 5 with an injury. Dynamic midfield scorer who can stretch the defense when he's healthy, and that time he did it on the run, dodging in. Nothing Marzullo could do as it's 2-0 Tigers with 10:18 to go in the first. Sowers had the first, Sims has the second. Shrapa against Gonzalez for the 3rd time today. And it's Gonzalez winning. It's scooped up far sideline. Cole Robillard. Actually, no, that's Sean Duncan, number 0 with the ground ball, and he'll carry it in for the Highlanders. High pass, first time we've seen Aaron Forster with the ball in his stick today. He's their leading scorer. Here's a shot, it rings high out of the stick of Nick Irwin. Irwin, the sophomore from Wayne, New Jersey, had a clean look. Whistled it high, but the Highlanders there to back it up, and they'll restart with 9:54 to go in the first. Ryan Caden, the sophomore, local product out of Bridgewater Raritan High School from Martinsville, New Jersey. Works it up top into the midfield. They rotate it up to Irwin. Draws the short stick, Arnold, who comes onto the right alley to defend him down to our right. Back behind the cage to X. Forster one-on-one against Medgalchi. He'll try to get above goal line extended, but nothing doing, so he'll pass it off. Now near side trying to turn the corner. Fogarty, nothing doing that time. Williams jumped in front, so he'll pass it off. Back to Forster at X with 9:15 to go in the first quarter. 2-0 Tigers. Here's Forster. Pass out in front off the stick of Robillard down onto the turf. Robillard gets it back, then tosses it towards the net where Blaisdell scoops it. In the direction of the net, not a shot certainly, but Blaisdell was able to scoop it up, and he'll clear it up ahead with Chase Williams. Into Chris Brown down to our left, 2-0 Tigers, 8:50 to go in the first quarter. Sowers had the first goal less than a minute in, and then Sims followed shortly after. Sims, Thompson, McCarthy, the top midfield line back out there for the Tigers. Here's Thompson, tried to duck underneath a defender, had the ball knocked away from behind. Brett Goldstein forcing it onto the turf, but the Tigers get it back. Sowers draws the double, Marzullo ranging out, pass up top, McCarthy whistles it high for the Tigers. Sowers there to back it up. Princeton with a 2-0 lead, quickly restarting. Robertson cycles it topside. Thompson out to the midfield. McCarthy spins it near side. Sims, stutter step around his man. Here's Sims on the run. High pass behind the cage. Sowers. Now it's Brown, the lefty off the foot of Marzullo. Long carry to the midfield, and McCarthy's there to keep it for the Tigers. Nice save by Marzullo, but a friendly Princeton bounce. Here's Sowers, 98 career points. Gives it up to the midfield, back to Sims, left side, has the short stick matchup. They switch off him. Now Thompson, back up top. Brown can't handle the pass. And now he has it for the Tigers. Brown dodging in, forced below goal line, extended that time by Luke Bender. Here's a shot out in front and a goal. 3-0 Tigers. Riley Thompson checking into the scoring column, his fourth goal of the season. Two players the Tigers need to get going, Austin Sims and Riley Thompson, and they have two of the three goals tonight. This one comes with 7:36 to go in the first quarter to make it 3-0 Princeton. Riley Thompson last year, 40 points, good for fourth best on the team, behind Sowers, McBride, and Courier. Played some attack, some midfield the past couple of years. He's settled into the midfield, and this is senior season. And he makes it 3-0 Tigers. Ralph Schrappa matching up against Adam Gonzalez at the face-off X. Just about out of daylight here in New Jersey. Schrappa trying to clamp down. Spinning around the Princeton Shield logo in midfield. Some bodies piling up. Ball loose, rolling towards the Princeton end, and all alone in the midfield, scooping it up for the Tigers is Andrew Song with the pole. So the Tigers eventually win the face-off, and they're charging in. Into the stick of Robertson, and now the Tigers will settle it down with Sowers. 3-0 Tigers coming up on 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. Second midfield line out there, Austin Sims remaining on the field, joined by Braden Gate and Emmett Cordray. Sims at the top of this attack. Here's Gates spinning off his man. Pass up top. Sims cycles it. Might have gotten the stick of Brown, an errant pass. Brown couldn't handle it, and that rolls out of bounds. The Tigers turn it over. Princeton so far today out shooting the Highlanders 6-1. 9-3 advantage in ground balls. That's the second Tigers turnover tonight. Highlanders looking to crack the goose egg. 3-0 they trail midway through the first. Tyler Blaisdell today has not had to save a shot. A couple of shots for the Highlanders have all been wide. Charging in right-hand side and passing it off is Ryan Darrow. That first midfield line out there as he gets it into Ryan Caden. No seniors on offense for the Highlanders. Program in its fifth year, looking for its third ever win. They beat Dartmouth 2 years ago, and then their lone win last year came against Hampton. Another relatively young program. Out to the midfield, Colin Fogarty. No urgency for the Highlanders, still early, still just a 3-goal game. Swinging it back out to the midfield, Colin Fogarty, the freshman from Mantua, New Jersey. A step on Williams, passes off. Tough angle, shot by Robillard, saved by Blaisdell from the right side. From about 8 yards out, it was a pretty good look by Robillard. Just right at Tyler Blaisdell. He quickly clears it to Arnold, and he clears it in down to our left. 5.5 minutes to go. The Tigers back on the attack here in the first quarter, leading 3-0. Almost a chance at a quick shot off the bench for Strib Walker as he thought about it, but instead slows it down. Walker out there for his second shift. Sims stays on, so Matt Madeline already mixing and matching in the midfield early on. McKenzie thought he had a lane. Instead, it was Fontasek jumping in front, so he passes off to Sowers. Out in front, Walker goes left side, bounces it for the goal. Strib Walker. That's his first goal on his first career shot, and it makes it 4-0 Tigers late in the first.
With that assist, Michael Sowers has become the...
Give Michael Sowers the assist. He has a goal. He has 2 helpers today. Give him 100 career points. Michael Sowers, the fastest to 100 career points in program history.
And Michael Sowers has done it quicker than any of the 33 prior 100-point scorers.
34th player in program history to reach 100 career points. They're going to stop the face-off. They're going to take the ball out of play. Michael Sowers will have a nice souvenir after this one. Already 3 points on the first 4 Princeton goals for the sophomore. Sowers last year split pretty evenly, 41 goals, 41 assists. I don't think the 41 assists surprised anybody, but I don't know that anyone would have predicted 41 goals. As a freshman, a player who in high school has more assists than anybody else who's ever played high school lacrosse. Congratulations to Michael Sowers, 100 career points. Face-off violation on NJIT gives it to the Tigers, who are back on the attack. 4-0 Tigers, 4:40 left, first quarter. Lights taking full effect here in New Jersey. Here's McCarthy. He misfires badly, had a wide open look from the left of the cage. It is a shot. Sowers there to back it up, so no damage done. Had a wide open look and just didn't really have it squared up, and the ball took an awkward angle. Sowers matched up against a pole, dances above goal line extended, now swings top side of the cage, passes it off. Chris Brown thought about it. His pass, errant towards the midfield, tracked down by McCarthy. Awkward possession for the Tigers. A couple of strange-looking passes. One-timer out in front, and from Sims, it's Riley Thompson burying his second of the night to make it 5-0.
Riley Thompson, his second goal.
Austin Sims and Riley Thompson in rhythm here tonight. 4:07 left to play in the first quarter, and the Tigers have a 5-0 lead. 9 shots for the Tigers. 5 of them have ended up behind Nick Marzullo in the NJIT net. Most of them he hasn't really had a shot at. Timeout, Travis Johnson and the Highlanders. Princeton tonight, for the first time this season, looking like the Tigers of last year when they scored nearly 15 goals a game, finishing second in Division I in goals. Already 5 goals tonight through the first 10 minutes and change. Don't miss your shot to win big. Enter the Nissan Die Hard Fan Sweepstakes to win a one-of-a-kind 2018 Rogue custom wrapped in your team's colors. Plus, you could win season tickets and swag from your favorite team. To enter, go to nissanusa.com/diehardfansweepstakes for your chance to win today. No purchase necessary. Ends 3/31/18. Open to residents of the U.S. and D.C. 18 and older. 9 shots for the Tigers, 5 goals today. Face-offs tonight, 4-1 in favor of Princeton. A couple of violations in there for the Highlanders, and Princeton's built up an early 5-0 lead. After the goal by Thompson, his second of the day. It'll be Adam Gonzalez out there for the face-off for the Highlanders. And for the Tigers, they'll stick with Ralph Schrappa. Schrappa coming into the day had only taken 6 face-offs all season. This will be number 6 for him already tonight. Something we talked about briefly in the pregame show. Both of these teams struggling mightily to control possession. Between these two teams, 10 players have taken face-offs this year. Nobody even close to 50%. Sam Bonafide, 43% for the Tigers, and that's been the best for these two teams. Schrappa kicks it back, and he controls it cleanly with 4 minutes to go in a 5-0 Princeton lead. And then he takes a slash. Free possession for the Tigers. Flag is down in front of the Princeton bench. Tigers carry it in down to our left, trying to tack on to this 5-0 lead. McCarthy joined in the midfield by Austin Sims, and now Cordray comes on. Smaller crowd, much smaller crowd than we saw in the opener against Monmouth. Chilly night, windy night, snow in the forecast. Sims working his way in, passes it off. Sowers, stutter step behind the cage, feet out in front, looking for the cutter. Sims, it was deflected, but right back to Sowers. Sowers matched up against the pole, John Tashon. Following him around behind the cage as Sowers raises the right arm and signals the offense for the Tigers. Sowers trying to carry it above goal line extended, nothing doing, carries it around the near side, looking to roll back in, goes low, kick save Marzullo, long carom rather, scooped up by the Highlanders, and now we'll wait for the flag. Flag was down, the early call looked like a slash. And it was right off the face-off win, so the Tigers will go man up for the first time tonight. Alex Stiers, the junior midfielder, the guilty party, so he'll put his left knee on the ground in front of the NJIT bench. Tigers man up this season, 30%, 3 for 10. Highlanders man down. They've been pretty good this year. Opponents 5 for 20 with the extra man. 6 on 5 for the Tigers for the next 45 seconds, already with a 5-0 lead. Sims to Brown, now back below goal line extended. Thompson switching places. Sowers out in front. McKenzie dumps it home, and it's 6-0 Tigers. Dawson McKenzie, he's been on the man-up unit the past couple of seasons, and he has one right there to make it 6-0.
Tigers lead 6-0.
6-0 Tigers, first of the day, second of the season for McKenzie, the junior from Fergus, Ontario. High school teammates, prep teammates with a couple of other Tigers. Zach Courier, who of course graduated last year, and Riley Thompson. Second goal of the season by Dawson McKenzie puts the Tigers up 6-0 with 2.5 minutes to go in the first. Princeton's won 5 of 6 of the face-off X. Highlanders switching it up. Tyler Stevenson in there. And a violation against Schrappa, and the Tigers gives it to the Highlanders. Second face-off win of the night for NJIT. They will go on the attack. Possession heavily favoring the Tigers. They've outshot NJIT 11-2 so far tonight. 11 shots, 6 of them have found the back of the net. Quiet night for Tyler Blaisdell so far. He's only had to make 1 save. Nice for a change, Blaisdell, second in the nation in saves per game. Also allowing almost 14 goals per game. He's just had his net peppered this year. Inside 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Highlanders dancing around to our right. Max Wilson, young midfielder out there. He'll feather the pass behind the cage. Ryan Caden quarterbacking it from X. Passes up top to Nick Irwin, the sophomore. Irwin a step on Williams, gives it up. Near side, wrapping it around. Caden goes over his shoulder and scores. Pretty goal for the sophomore Ryan Caden to get the Highlanders on the scoreboard. Third goal of the season for Caden. We talked about the struggles by Austin Sims. As far as shooting, Sims 0 for 9 against Hopkins this past weekend. Before that, Ryan Caden, 1 goal on his last 17 shots, but a pretty one that time to make it 6-1. Caden's a sophomore. He has started every game since the beginning of his freshman year. 6-1 the score, so the Highlanders are finally on the scoreboard with 1:22 to go. Ralph Schrappa leans in to take the face-off for the Tigers. It's been kind of a revolving door at the face-off X for both of these teams, and we have a quick whistle, and another violation against Schrappa gives possession to the Highlanders. Second in a row whistled against number 13, wearing white for Princeton. Top midfield line out there, Ryan Darrow, the junior, running it, working alongside Colton Johnson, and now near side for Colin Fogarty. If you look at the scoring sheet, if you look at the rotation, if you look at the starters on attack, not a single senior anywhere to be found for NJIT. Final 50 seconds of the first quarter. Highlanders were down 6-0. It's now 6-1. Chance to close out the first quarter on a high note for NJIT. Forster passes it. Johnson, top of the box, picked up by Williams. Pass back to the middle. Here's a shot on the run. It bounces wide. Backed up by the Highlanders. 30 seconds to go in the first. Darrow playing catch outside the restraining line with Johnson. Now they spin it. Left alley trying to carry center Fogarty, the freshman. Passes over the top of the defense. Robillard had Blaisdell make a nice save on him earlier in this contest. Now Caden, 8 seconds to go. Passes Johnson with Williams, 6 seconds to go. Highlanders whistle a shot from the top of the box. Easy save for Blaisdell. He'll sling it down the field in the first quarter. Comes to an end. 6-1 Tigers on top of the Highlanders. Back after this on the Princeton IMG Sports Network and the Ivy League Network.
Princeton University alumni.
The Ivy League is where traditions are born. And last March, we made history.
Tournament championship goes to the Penn Quakers.
Princeton Tigers are going to the NCAA tournament.
Come be a part of Ivy Madness.
6-1 Tigers back at Sherrod Field, class of 1952 stadium under the lights. Princeton and NJIT tangling for the third straight year. The Highlanders, of course, in just their 5th year with a Division I men's lacrosse program. This series has been slanted in favor of the Tigers. 2 years ago, 21-4, Princeton won here at Sherrod Field. Last year, here in Princeton, 22-8. A Tigers victory over the Highlanders. Start of the second quarter, back out to the face-off X. Notable from today, 2 goals for Riley Thompson, who came into the game with 3. A couple of points for Austin Sims and Michael Sowers. Going over 100 career points, becoming the fastest player in program history to do that. Teams switching sides. Blaisdell now in net to our left. Jack Henry Vara out there to take the face-off for the first time. We have a whistle. Possession awarded to the Tigers. Don't think it was a violation. I think it was a push. So Princeton goes on the attack, trying to tack on to an early 6-1 advantage. Now shooting at the cage to our right. Defended by Nick Marzullo, the senior. Started all 7 games this season, has Marzullo out of Old Bridge High School. Sowers has the pole, matched up against Valdez, the most experienced player on this Highlanders team. He's a graduate student who's been here all 5 years. McCarthy trying to shake his man, nothing doing, so he works it to Sowers at X. Over the top of the cage, Sims off the foot of Marzullo. Long Karen back out to midfield, shoveled back across by the Tigers. Good job by Aaron Roberts. Out there on defense for the first time tonight alongside Winshew, just sort of swept it back over the midfield line. Tigers maintaining possession with a minute gone by in the second. Rocket pass to Sowers, swings it up top, the lefty Brown, a bouncer. Bounces it wide, didn't have enough behind it. Seen that a couple of times tonight on passes and shots. The Tigers struggling to really cue it up on this chilly night. They do have a 5-goal lead here early in the second, 6-1. Chris Brown behind the cage, Sean Duncan out there at defensive midfield. Here's Sims, top of the box, trying to shake his man. He hits the post. Out to Brown. He'll try to kick it towards the end line, and Chris Brown scoops it up and then draws the flag. There's a flag down, so another free possession for the Tigers. And now they'll finally blow it dead. And the Tigers will go man up for the second time today.
NJIT fouls on 31. Matthew Valdez, a slash.
It's another slash, and this time it's against Matthew Valdez, the graduate student on defense. Tigers scored on their first man-up possession. It was Dawson McKenzie. Tigers go man up for the second time, this time for a minute. Attacking the cage to our right, Sowers, feed out in front through traffic, Thompson. Not sure how he got the shot off, but he beats Marzullo to make it 7-1. The sidewinder Riley Thompson give him the hat trick. Only took the Tigers 17 seconds on their second man-up opportunity of the night. It's 7-1 Princeton. Riley Thompson has the hat trick after he had just 3 goals over the first 3 games. 7-1 Tigers, 12:56 to go in the first half. Jack Henry Vara out there for his second face-off, matched up against Tyler Stevenson. Ball kicking towards the Princeton end. Now it's loose, caroming towards the top sideline. Highlanders with a step, and it's scooped up by Matthew Breimer. So NJIT with the face-off win. The Highlanders go on attack if they can clear it. Bouncer towards the goal. Marzullo was out of the goal, almost let it bounce in. NJIT running out of time as they try to clear it from right to left. Here's Irwin, lashed at by Robertson. He'll carry in and clear for the Highlanders. 7-1 Tigers coming up on 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. 3 goals for Thompson tonight. A goal by McKenzie, a goal by Walker, a goal by Sowers, and a goal by Sims. Into the stick of Aaron Forster. Haven't really talked a lot about him. Back-to-back 4-goal games for the junior from Ottawa. He has the ball knocked away, and it's scooped up by the Tigers. Roberts has it. And then he has the carpet pulled out from under him, but it's into the stick of Bauer for Princeton. He hits Caputo in transition. Here's Caputo. Low pass across the midfield line. Connecting with Sam Bonafide, who clears it in for Princeton. Tigers using a lot of bodies as they have the previous 2 meetings against the Highlanders. Tigers now back on the attack. A 7-1 Princeton lead as Sims carries in and plays catch with Sowers, and then Sims loses his footing. He recovers, and the ball works its way out to Brown, the lefty, trying to work around Valdez to no avail. Passes to Robertson. Now Sowers working it out to the midfield. Cordray swinging it in. Here's Sims on the move. Leaves it off Sowers, wrapping it around, goes low, saved by Marzullo. Out to Tayshaun, who has it. Highlanders with possession with 10:45 to go in the second, down by 6. Burst of speed up across midfield for Shane Plockoy. He clears it in, and the Highlanders can settle it down, working from right to left. Nice save by Marzullo, an efficient clear for the Highlanders. Ryan Caden quarterbacking the offense. Picked up by David Sturts for the Tigers. Haven't called his name tonight. Princeton already going fairly deep into the bench, 20 minutes into this contest, leading 7-1. Colin Fogarty carries it back to the midfield, working around Williams behind the back pass. To Robillard, they set up Darrow. He whistles it wide. Actually, that wasn't Darrow, that was Forster inverting on the attack. Aaron Forster, 19 straight games for the Highlanders with at least 1 goal. That is the longest goal-scoring streak in this young program's history. Maybe more impressively, back-to-back 4-goal contests, but he's been held in check tonight. Had 4 of their 6 goals in that loss at Quinnipiac on Saturday. He'll play back on the attack after he took the last shot from about 18 yards out. Now dodging in. Forster gets it back, carries above goal line, extended. Quick first step and picked up quickly by Winshew, who's back in the game after he did not start tonight. Winshew and Roberts had been starters on close defense the first 3 games of the season. They gave way to Terry and Bond tonight. Extended possession for the Highlanders, not forcing any shots. Still a lot of lacrosse left to be played here on a Tuesday night in Princeton, New Jersey. High pass, Caden. Coils, fires, bounces it. That clears the stadium off the artificial turf. Forster was there to backstop it. Quick restart, Forster hangs the Tigers up, wraps it around, and beats Blaisdell up high, 7-2. Quick restart by Forster, and he had a couple of Tigers in white jerseys tangled up behind the cage. Not a good defensive look from Matt Madelon's squad, and a really athletic goal by Forster, his 17th of the season. Seven to 2 the score. Highlanders were down 5-0, and since then they've played the Tigers even. 8:45 to go, second quarter, back out to the X. Stevenson's taking the last few for NJIT. Jack Henry Vara, the freshman, back out there for the Tigers. Ground ball scooped up by Bauer, feeding it up ahead, Bonafide. And the Tigers have the ground ball and the face-off win. 8.5 minutes to go in the second. Strip Walker out there, second midfield line. Walker, McKenzie, and Sims. Brown, Showers, and Robertson, the 3 starters, still out there at attack. Here's Austin Sims, one-on-one against the short stick Duncan. That's a good matchup for the Tigers. They slide on him. Sims gets pummeled down to the turf. Ball is loose. Walker has it. Great defense by the Highlanders to pry it away from Sims, but Princeton maintains the handle. They quickly came over and doubled Austin Sims, and now they do the same to Brown. NJIT sliding early in this possession. That leaves Sims open, and he has an easy bouncer for the goal. Highlanders taking some chances. It worked out a couple of times, but then Austin Sims from about 8 yards out left wide open to make it 8-2 Tigers. Second goal of the day by Sims. 2 goals on 4 shots by the senior. Up until that shot by Sims, a pretty good defensive possession by Travis Johnson's squad. Vara matched up against Stevenson. 8-2 Tigers lead, 7:45 remaining in the first half. Near side wing, Song matched up against Goldstein. Dodging in from the top side for the Tigers is Williams. Ball is loose, Song in the middle of 3 red jerseys. Kicks to Caden, he had it momentarily before he was upended. The Tigers with possession, but a flag comes in as Ryan Caden was just leveled. This is going to go against the Tigers, and the Highlanders will go man up for the first time tonight as the officials huddle up and discuss. At least you would think it would go against the Tigers. Caden was the man who got knocked down to the turf. And he was laying there when the ball was picked up and the flag went down. Officials still discussing. David Sturts already has the left knee on the ground. It's a cross check, and NJIT will go man up for the first time tonight.
Princeton foul is on number 48, David Sturts. 1 minute for a hit to the head.
David Sturts is a sophomore. Played in 1 game last year, has played in 1 game this year prior to tonight. That was 2 weekends ago against Virginia. First man up chance of the night for the Highlanders, trailing by 6 midway through the second quarter. NJIT this year with the extra man, 28%, 7 for 25. 6 on 5 for the next 45 seconds, but they throw the pass away and turn it over. Golden opportunity for the Highlanders, and they can't capitalize, so Princeton will get it back with 40 seconds left on the man down. The Tigers have been a man up twice tonight. They've scored both times. Errant pass, McCarthy able to handle it. Caden trying to lash it free from the Tigers sophomore. He'll pass it off. Williams, the two-sport athlete, also a linebacker on the football team, leaves it off near side for Sims. The Tigers have to hustle, and Sims sprints it in for the clear. 15 seconds left on the man advantage for NJIT. The Tigers will just dance around in the midfield until they're back at 6-on-6. 8-2 Tigers on top. Penalty to Sturts about to expire. It does. And Riley Thompson joins the fray. Thompson has a hat trick. Austin Sims has 2 goals, and outside of that, the offense pretty equal opportunity. Robertson, his shot saved. Friendly carom out to Brown, trying to wedge the pass into McCarthy, but NJIT has it. Marzullo ranged way out of the cage and then tried to throw it back and almost put it in his own net. Faltasek then throws it behind his back towards the sideline. NJIT turns it over once again. Highlanders have had some opportunities, and they've given it right back up. Timeout taken by Travis Johnson, obviously frustrated as this could be a closer game. 8-2 with 5:59 to go in the second quarter. We will keep it here. For the Tigers, for Philip Robertson, that shot was saved. That's the first time in his career he's had a shot saved. Prior to that, 11 career shots on goal, 11 in the back of the goal, including all 8 of his shots over the first 3 games of this season, but a nice save by Marzullo. And then on the clear, he nearly throws it into his own net, and then on the second chance to clear, the Highlanders turn it over. So they take a timeout, 5:59 to go. It's 8-2 Tigers. How about this? 8 goals for the Tigers. Michael Sowers already has 5 assists. That matches a career high. Third time the sophomore has done that. Michael Sowers earlier tonight becoming the 34th member of the Princeton 100-point club. Special because nobody has ever done it faster, and even if he was held without a point tonight and Saturday against Rutgers, he still would have had a chance to claim that mark. Previous 2 players to get to 100, the quickest, both came in the same game, both in 1976, David Tickner and Wick Sollers. Michael Sowers reaching triple digits in career points faster than anybody else in program history. As we break from the NJIT timeout, it'll be Princeton ball. Tigers attacking the cage down to our right. They got out to a 5-0 lead, and then the Highlanders scored a couple. Princeton, though, doing everything well tonight. 2 for 2 with the extra man, winning face-offs. Robertson gets knocked down to the turf, and they're going to say he jumped into the crease on his own accord, so the shot was wide. But a violation against the Tigers. He fell into the crease, and NJIT will get it back. Tayshawn sprinting up the middle of the field. The sophomore leaves it off. Up the right-hand side, Highlanders clearing it with ease, down by 6 goals, but still with a lot of lacrosse to be played. Robillard passes it out to the midfield for Nick Irwin, the sophomore. Irwin, a transfer last year at Western New England University, did not compete in lacrosse, and now in his first season at NJIT. Part of that midfield rotation where they've been mixing and matching bodies. Max Wilson, the freshman from British Columbia, carries in. Nothing doing as he's picked up quickly. He'll bounce the pass behind the cage to Ryan Caden. He'll swing it left-hand side to Irwin. Back to Caden, those two playing catch. Working around a screen from Faltasek. How about that? Faltasek is a starter on close defense. He's been a pole throughout his career, and they have him on the attack. He's out there on offense. Travis Johnson just trying to get something going as his Highlanders are down 8-2. Coming up on 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. Out in front, Forster has a seam, tries to roll it, and he beats Blaisdell. Tyler Blaisdell never saw it. That's the second of the game for Forster, and it's 8-3. Aaron Forster split the defense, gave himself just enough room. Blaisdell was looking high, and Forster took the subway to make it 8-3. 18 goals on the season for Forster, who has been their top scorer throughout his career. 20 straight games with at least one goal, coming off back-to-back 4-goal outings. Forster, 18 goals this season, 18 of NJIT's 45. That's right around 40%. Forster also one of 4 Canadians on this Highlanders roster, and 3 of their top 4 scorers here hail from north of the border. Face-off violation against the Highlanders. Quick restart by the Tigers. And now the officials blow it dead, and they'll make Princeton back it up. Now the Tigers have the okay to put the wheels in motion with 4 minutes to go in the second and a 5-goal lead. Sims in the midfield alongside Cordray and Geet. Here's Austin Sims carrying in from the near sideline. Passes off Robertson, taking Sowers, spotted X. Errant pass, bouncing to the midfield. Kept on the offensive end by Roberts, but he pushed it too far. It carries out of bounds. Second time tonight we've seen Roberts knock a ball back across midfield. The first one kept it for the Tigers. That time he swept it out of bounds on the far side. So NJIT with a chance on offense, down 8-3. We talked about it outside of the game earlier this season against the top 15 opponent in Army West Point. And then this past Saturday on the road at Quinnipiac. The other 4 games this season for the Highlanders have been pretty competitive. Final 3 minutes in the first half. Darrow at the top of the formation, passes off to the freshman Fogarty. He quickly cycles it into Johnson, working it behind the cage, a whistle. Officials getting together as the teams scatter. No flags down. The officials discussing something, though, in the NJIT end. Whatever it was against the Highlanders, and the Tigers are awarded possession in their own end. 8-3, Princeton on top late in the first half. They'll restart it through their senior netminder, Tyler Blaisdell, who's had the quietest night of his season. Tyler Blaisdell, 3 goals allowed, 3 saves. This is a player who, coming into this contest, has faced over 50 shots per game. Princeton on the attack. They clear it in with Brown, working with Thompson behind the cage. Michael Sowers comes out in front of the cage, so Matt Madelon and Pat March giving it a different look. Sowers already has 5 assists tonight. That ties a career high. He's gone over 100 career points, the fastest in program history to do so. Thompson taking over at X, cycles it. McKenzie trying to shake his man. Goes up high, not on target, but backed up by Brown to keep it for the Tigers with 1:55 to go. 8-3, Tigers on top. They jumped out to a 5-0 lead. NJIT put a couple in the back of the net, but hasn't really gotten any closer. Dawson McKenzie trying to shake his man, passes it to Walker. His shot saved by Marzullo down on a knee. And then Tayshaun scoops it up along the near side. Big night for John Tayshaun, the sophomore. Just his second ground ball. But he's been in the middle of everything. 1 minute, 15 seconds to go. Highlanders, if they can score here, would make it a 4-goal game, but they quickly turn it over and the Tigers carry it back in. 1 minute left to go. Princeton back on the attack with an 8-3 lead. Up top, Austin Sims, joined by Thompson and McCarthy. Top midfield line out there. Three goals tonight for Riley Thompson, the senior. 2 for Austin Sims, 5 assists for Sowers. Thompson passes off, and there's a goal for Michael Sowers. Tic-tac-toe go the Tigers to make it 9-3 late in the first half. Second goal to go along with 5 assists for the sophomore All-American. It's 9-3 Princeton. This is what the Tigers needed after being frustrated by Virginia and then Hopkins. 2 very different kind of games. No shortage of goals 2 weeks ago in that 18-15 loss down in Charlottesville against Lars Tiffany and company. And then this past Saturday, the Tigers just couldn't get possession as they fell 16-9 at Homewood Field. Up 9-3 here with 35 seconds to go before halftime. Jack Henry Vara out there for the face-off. It was Ralph Schrappa earlier, and he was winning face-offs, but then whistled for a couple of violations. Vara, the freshman, has it cleanly, trying to snake his way out of a jam, puts it on the turf, but it's scooped up by Song. Passes up ahead off the stick of Bonafide. Ball is loose. 15 seconds to go. Tayshaun has it. Tayshaun camps out in his own end for the Highlanders. 10 seconds to go in the first half. High pass. Gets over everybody. It'll trickle towards the sideline and roll out of bounds as time expires in the first half. 7 points for Michael Sowers. A hat trick for Riley Thompson, and the Tigers take a 9-3 lead into the locker room here at Sherrod Field. Coming up at halftime, if you're listening on the Princeton IMG Sports Network, we'll have a recap of the first half as well as a look at the Hampton Inn out-of-town scoreboard. A couple of Ivy League games in action, and the top-ranked Albany Great Danes picking up another win earlier today. Virginia, number 8, also in action tonight. We'll have a full look at the scoreboard. If you're watching on the Ivy League Network, we will introduce you to the women's basketball senior class, the Tigers. Courtney Banghart's squad wrapping up the number 1 seed in the Ivy League tournament, which begins on Saturday down at the Palestra. At the half here in Princeton, it's the Tigers 9, the NJIT Highlanders 3. Back after this on the Princeton IMG Sports Network and the Ivy League Network.
My name's Nena Ibe. I go to Princeton. I'm a junior, and I'm in volleyball and track. Doing 2 sports in Ivy League, everyone's been like, how are you possibly doing this? So far, I've known no other way, but it's definitely helped me understand balance in everything. Is this important to what I want to achieve tomorrow? Is this helping me for the goals I have? My biggest goal academically is med school. Beyond that, to have established what I want to do in the future, just sort of understand what I'm trying to do beyond Princeton and understand myself.
Shaq here. Nobody likes traffic stops, but if there's a stop, we all want it to be easy, smooth, and safe. Safe Stop is designed to provide education about your rights and knowing the law. If you're stopped by the police, things like staying calm and following the officer's instructions will make it a safe stop. Know your rights, know the law. Visit SafeStopNJ.com to learn more.
Go to SafeStopNJ.com.
Princeton's 3 seniors know their careers are winding down, but they're trying not to get too sentimental.
All 3 of us tend to get a little bit emotional, so I try not to think about it, but yeah, I mean, we kind of talk about every time we've done something this season, and it's been kind of the last time, we always mention it to each other, like, guys, this is our last road trip, or this is our last time playing at Harvard, Dartmouth, whatever it was. So yeah, we definitely talked about our milestones and things that we've accomplished along the way.
On a team where youth has often been the focus, Leslie Robinson, Tia Waleji, and Kenya Holland are the veterans. 3 seniors with 3 different leadership styles.
Leslie, I would say she's definitely the most vocal out of all 3 of us on and off the court. In her relationship with Coach Banghart, she's usually the one that's kind of transferring most of the messages between the team and coach. So we rely on her a lot for that. And obviously she's a lot of the energy on the court. She kind of gets us really fired up. She's not afraid to tell the truth no matter who she's talking to. I've always been a very vocal person and someone who kind of naturally likes to help people. You see that in my assists and you see that in the way that I carry people on the court, and that's just something that I've always, been, in the classroom, on the court, on the field, wherever it may be. I love seeing other people succeed, and if I can help in any way, I think that really shows the type of leader I am.
She's the motor of our team. She can really just change the game around, not even by how she's playing, but just how she carries herself and how she interacts with all of us. A lot of us feed off Leslie's energy, which has been so helpful this entire season.
Tia Waleji finishes in transition.
Not as vocal, but she's more of a lead by example type of leader.
We have an ongoing joke that they call me the cool mom, and I think where that comes from is just I'm able to relate to every single person on the team in a very one-on-one personal relationship, and I use that off the court but also on the court to know the best approach for each person, because not everybody responds to the same thing.
She's very nurturing, and we're always kind of spending time in her room, taking naps on her couch and things like that. So she's more nurturing and mom-like in that way. Tia will do anything for anyone at any moment, and I think that shows on and off the court. And also I think that Tia is one of the hardest working leaders that we've ever had. And she definitely leads by example, whether that's coming in to get extra shots, whether that's the way that she communicates with coach, that's the way that she communicates with everyone else on the team, and the rest, me and Kenya as two other seniors. I think that if you follow in Tia's footsteps, you won't fail.
Kenya Holland left wide open, and she's 2 for 2 off the bench.
I would say I'm more of like the cool aunt. So I'm more of like the quirky kind of, kind of dropping jokes here and there. Also vocal when it comes to basketball, but more honest but kind of keeping it more fun and upbeat. Relentless as a leader. She's always there to help people. She's always there to talk you through it. But then she's tough. There's tough love, but there's also a very caring and nurturing way about her, and I think that she wants to see this team succeed, and you can see that on and off the court, and she definitely makes an effort to show her relentlessness and making sure that everyone understands where we need to be.
An Ivy League title this year wouldn't be the first for Robinson, Waleji, and Holland. As freshmen, they were part of the Princeton team that finished the regular season 30-0. This March, they're looking for an encore they can call their own.
That's kind of what you come to Princeton for, is you're coming for that A1 education, you're coming for A1 basketball, and you're coming for an Ivy title. And I think that we're in a really cool position in the fact that we can be Ivy League champs and Ivy League tournament champs. And I think that speaks to kind of all the hard work that we've all put in. And our freshman year, we were kind of just riding along and we were having a good time. But I think that now, being seniors, it means that much more to us. And we want to show, we want to show each other, we want to show the team, we want to show the coaches all the hard work that we've put in, and what it means to be a Tiger, and kind of continue that tradition of winning here at Princeton.
This past summer, USA Basketball had a Princeton feel, with reigning Ivy League Rookie of the Year Bella Allery competing for the Under-19 national team at the FIBA World Cup in Italy, and head coach Courtney Banghart serving as an assistant for the U23 squad in Tokyo.
It's interesting when you travel internationally. So I've been to Africa and I've been to Australia with Princeton basketball, and whenever you take a Princeton trip, you're going to have an element of service, and you're going to have an educational experience of real significance. When you're traveling with USA Basketball, it's a basketball experience, and so there's a lot less interest in making sure that we get enough cultural food and enough cultural learning and enough service opportunities. It's about basketball. So we actually didn't get to see as much of the country as we would have had I traveled with Princeton, but I got to see a lot of gyms. I got to do a lot of basketball and see a lot of film. So it truly was a business trip.
We stayed in Udine for most of the time. It's kind of just a small town, not a lot going on there, but we had one day where we got to travel to Venice, which was super cool. My favorite part about Italy was definitely the food. The pizza there is just unreal, so we definitely took advantage of that opportunity. I think I ate probably 20 pizzas on that trip.
On the U19 roster, Allery was surrounded by some of the best players in the nation, from powerhouse programs like UConn, Texas, and South Carolina. Still, though, she managed to stand out, starting all 7 games and averaging 7 points and 8 rebounds while leading the team in blocked shots.
I think the biggest adjustment was just finding my role on the team. I know when I play for Princeton, I'm more of a dynamic, guard forward. I can kind of be put in a lot of different positions, but here they decided, okay, you're the tallest girl on the team, we're going to make you a forward.
Meanwhile, Banghart, who's been the head coach at Princeton since 2007, took advantage of the opportunity to once again function in a supporting role.
To be an assistant again was really fun. I mean, the role of an assistant coach is really different than that of a head coach. And to have that interaction with the players and to have that, have those responsibilities shift in terms of different things that I was responsible for than I am on a daily basis here in this role was actually really fun. I enjoyed it. I took every advantage I had in terms of my interaction with the guards who I worked with while I was out there, and it was just a really memorable experience.
Well, basketball is basketball. International competition exposed Allery and Banghart to a slightly different version of the game.
The international game is really different. It's different because it's a lot faster. There's a shorter shot clock. There's less, coaches can't call timeouts. The clock only resets to 14 seconds on an offensive rebound. You can't inbound into the backcourt. There's all these rules that force you to play up speed. And for a team that typically our team likes to run, it was a wonderful experience for me to see how quick the game can be played and how fast, but yet still together. That's what we aim to do here.
I was expecting just completely different basketball game. It's definitely sped up. It's definitely a lot of really skilled players out on the court, and I think the biggest difference is playing styles vary a lot team to team because everyone's from such different areas.
And despite her busy summer, Banghart was able to catch her star sophomore representing Princeton overseas.
It was so special to have her, come across the ocean and come watch me play. She's an incredible coach and supporter, and I think it was so nice to be able to look up in the stands and see a familiar face. I think it's just really special that, we have a coach here, and I have a coach that, would do that for me, would, travel across the ocean and watch me play.
It was really special to see Bella in that environment. I was on the recruiting road, and I left a recruiting gym and drove right to the airport and flew to Italy, and I was ironically on her father and brother's flight, which we were delayed about 5 hours in the airport. So it was just and then to land in Italy and be able to support her playing for USA and wearing a Princeton on my chest in pride for what she's done for here and what she's doing at the international level. It's something I won't quickly forget. And of course I was home for a day and then went out to my own USA basketball experience. So it was the USA basketball summer, and I think we're all better for it.
NJIT 9-3, Tigers on top of the Highlanders as they reset the clock and we get set to go for the third quarter. These teams meeting for the third straight year. The Tigers, for the first time ever, taking on the other 3 Division I teams in New Jersey. They opened up with a double overtime victory against Monmouth, another 5th-year program. And then this coming Saturday, they'll take on 13th-ranked Rutgers. Hopefully the weather is a little bit friendlier than it was last year when the wind chill was in the single digits up in Piscataway. 9-3, Tigers on top of the Highlanders. Jack Henry Vara to take the face-off for Princeton, wearing white from head to toe. Actually, that was Schrappa back out there. It's a violation against the Highlanders. They had Stevenson out there for the draw. And the Tigers open up the second half with a possession, up by a score of 9-3. Starters still out there for the Tigers. Just a 6-goal lead, plenty of lacrosse left, still have 30 minutes to go. Here's Thompson, thought about it on the dodge in, instead passes it off to Sowers. 2 goals, 5 assists for the sophomore. Standing all alone back at the end line, defended loosely by Tayshawn down to our left. Sowers plotting his next move, picks up a screen from Sims. Out in front, Thompson, stick save by Marzullo. Out of bounds, Sims is there to back it up. So Riley Thompson, who had scored on his first 8 shots of the season, stopped for the second time today. Sims behind the cage pass. Sowers, above goal line extended, tries to roll it in. Marzullo knocks it to himself and clamps down. Now the Highlanders trying to clear it from left to right for Nick Marzullo. He made 8 saves in the first half. Senior netminder from Matawan, New Jersey. He's been the starting goaltender for NJIT the last 4 years. Highlanders down by 6. Here's Forster. He has 2 of the 3 goals, carrying it out to the right alley down to our right. Has the cutter off the bench. Colton Johnson runs into a wall of white jerseys. Medgalchi knocks it away and has it. It finds its way to Blaisdell, who rockets the pass up to the far sideline. Tigers carrying from right to left. McCarthy clears it into Brown. Top midfield unit out there. Sims has the ball get through him, rolling towards the sideline, just able to keep it in bounds and corral it. And then he ducks under a high hit from Darrow heading off to the sideline. 2 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Same score we had at halftime, 9-3 Tigers. Told you Princeton welcomes 13th ranked Rutgers in on Saturday. Winding, firing, and scoring for the Tigers, Emmett Cordray. Great individual effort to just find an opening and let it rip. It's 10-3 Princeton.
At 12:48.
First goal of the day on his first shot for Cordray, the junior from Summit, New Jersey. That's his 5th goal of the season. He had a hat trick 2 weekends ago down in Charlottesville. 10-3, Tigers on top early in the third quarter. Cordray, second generation for Princeton Lacrosse. His father, one of the top goaltenders in Princeton history, 5th on the career saves list. And his son has his first goal of the day to get the Tigers into single digits. Schrappa wins the ensuing faceoff. Highlanders trying to lash it away. Schrappa, the sophomore, cutting it in, trying to carry it in for the clear, and he does. Here's Schrappa dodging in, gets upended, puts it on the turf, and turns it over. Just a case of the sophomore Schrappa trying to do a little bit too much. He won the faceoff, he cleared it, was eyeing his first career goal, and NJIT wouldn't have any part of it. Now the Highlanders trying to clear. Binder, sideline to sideline pass up to Tayshawn along the far sideline. Tiptoes across midfield, passes it off to Brett Goldstein, and he'll carry it into the box for the Highlanders, down by 7 here in the third. Errant pass rolling towards midfield, kept on the offensive end by Nick Irwin for the Highlanders. He tiptoes towards the restraining line, picked up by Caputo. The Tigers have used a ton of bodies out there on both ends of the field tonight. Terry got his first start of the season on defense. He's out there alongside Medgalchi and George Bond. Terry and Bond getting their first starts on defense, replacing Winshew and Roberts. Out to the midfield for Max Wilson, the freshman. Told you there are 4 Canadians on this NJIT roster. 3 of them are among their 4 leading scorers. And that's a result of a former Princeton coach, Brad Conlon, who's no longer coaching college lacrosse. Is from Ottawa. He was an assistant the last 3 years. The Highlanders put it on the turf, almost lost it, but Forster has it as he carries to the top of the box. Brad Conlon was that connection north of the border. Forster, Robillard, who's been quiet. Wilson, and then Jackson Boyd, a freshman, the 4 Canadians on this Highlanders roster. Speaking of Canadians, Robillard passes it off, top of the box. Wilson. Now here's Irwin. He's from closer. He hails from northern New Jersey. He'll pass it up top to Forster. Stall warning put on, so the 30-second shot clock takes effect. Highlanders down by 7. Here's Forster. Trying to work his way around Caputo. Forster behind the back pass. Ball is on the turf. Push without possession. Keeps it with the Highlanders. And that will reset the shot clock to 30 seconds. It was a push without possession. So that doesn't bail him out from the shot clock, but it does buy him another 14 seconds. Coming up on 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. Shot clock rules, they're still kind of trying to sort them out and figure out what works in men's lacrosse because the shot clock arbitrarily put on by the official. 7 seconds left to shoot. 5 seconds left to shoot. Forster carrying near side. They're not going to get a shot off. Shot clock expires about a second before they let it fly, and the Highlanders turn it over. Women's college lacrosse, they do have a shot clock. It is in effect at all times. It's a 90-second shot clock. Men's lacrosse, it's a 30-second shot clock, and it's at the officials' discretion. How about that? They find Michael Sowers via Chris Brown. The Tigers crisscrossing the field to make it 11-3. Michael Sowers, 3 goals, 5 assists, give him 8 points tonight. So Sowers becoming the second Tiger tonight with a hat trick. Philip Thompson had one early in the first half. 11-3, Tigers on top. An 8-point night for Michael Sowers, the sophomore. Sowers had 9 points in a game twice last year against Penn and Brown, both in Ivy League play. Tigers win the faceoff. Schrappel wins it cleanly again and is a one-man clear for the Tigers. His pass down on the turf. Tayshawn has it. He gets tripled along the end line. Passes it off to Binder. Top side, fall to Sek. Feathers the pass up ahead, and the Highlanders clearing with a lot of open real estate. They'll sprint it in from left to right with Shane Placoy, and now the Highlanders back on the attack with 9 minutes left in the third quarter. (11-3), Princeton on top. High pass out to the midfield, pulled down by Colton Johnson, the freshman. 3 goals for the Highlanders, 2 of them from Aaron Forster. Cycling it behind the cage to our right. Quiet night tonight for Tyler Blaisdell. Only had to make 3 saves in the first half. He's allowed 3 goals. Caden quarterbacking the offense, standing behind the Princeton cage down to our right. Now Forster inverts. He'll come up top. They've done that a couple of times tonight. Johnson cradling. Nothing doing as Terry pushes him below goal line extended. Pass off to Caden. Dancing at X. Picked up by Bond. Passes it up top. Shot on the run high off the stick of Blaisdell. Whistles out of bounds. Backed up by Caden. That came in from Ryan Darrow, the midfielder. Highlanders restart, under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Robillard has it, backpedaling into the right alley, matched up against the short stick Arnold, who follows him back behind the cage. Now a change of direction. Robillard passes it, shot. Saved by Blaisdell. That came out of the stick of Fogarty. Darrow picks it up, and another opportunity for the Highlanders on the attack. Couple of second chance opportunities here in the third quarter for NJIT. Back to Robillard, short stick matchup, feed out in front, can't get it to Caden, it ricochets. Tigers have it, Armin Medgalchi. Being harassed on the sideline, throws it towards the goal, almost scored in his own goal. Forster will chase it down along the far sideline. NJIT did that twice earlier today with Marzullo ranging out, and Medgalchi almost threw it in his own net. Highlanders back on the attack, and they'll settle it down. Ryan Darrow at the top of the formation, leaves it off right alley. Fogarty, one-handed cradle. Defended loosely by Chase Williams, giving him about an 8-yard cushion. Now Fogarty carries to X, trying to curl back near side. Williams laying into him. They slide on Fogarty. They knock the ball away. Darrow has it. The Highlanders keep it. Good job by NJIT in the third quarter, sustaining possessions. Nothing to show for it, though. Still looking for their first goal here in the second half. That shot off the side of the cage. Forster gets his own rebound. Now Forster chased around by Medgalchi, who dives across. Robillard shot, whistles, pass plays down. A diving goal by junior Cole Robillard to make it 11-4. Armin Medgalchi left his feet, and that gave Robillard just enough space to operate. First goal of the day for the junior from Brantford, Ontario, who's the Highlanders' second leading scorer this year. Two of the three starters on the attack, Robillard and Forster, hail from Ontario. And then two freshman midfielders, Max Wilson and Jackson Boyd from British Columbia, both from Victoria. 11-4, Tigers on top. Highlanders concede the face-off. For the first time today, they had John Tayshaun out there to take it. Tigers have it. Tayshaun now 1 for 16 at the face-off X this season. Bonafide has it for the Tigers. He'll pass it into Brown, and Princeton back on the attack. Tigers sideline fired up with an 11-4 lead late in the third quarter. Michael Sowers camped out at X. It's Robertson carrying it right alley. Tigers attacking the cage to our left. Nick Marzullo's played the entire game between the pipes for Travis Johnson's squad after he lasted just 8 minutes on Saturday in that loss to Quinnipiac. Sims on the run, hits the pipe. Second straight game he's had a shot off the pipe. That kind of a season on offense for Sims, but the Tigers able to reclaim it. Really good look for Austin Sims, bidding for the hat trick. Sims gets it back in the midfield, dodging in, passes off. Robertson at X. Out the near side, McKenzie trying to curl away from a short stick. His shot, actually it's a pass to Sowers. Up top now, Brown taking some contact on the run. Low shot, scooped up and saved by Marzullo. Sowers on the ride trying to get it back. He was pressuring Tayshaun, who fires it to Marzullo. Tigers with a three-man ride. Errant pass, middle of the field, off the foot of Arnold. Tigers have it. That wasn't Arnold. That was Strib Walker. Walker has it for the Tigers. He's an offensive midfielder now, but the last 2 years he was a defensive midi. And clogging up space and picking up the ground ball in between the lines for the Tigers. Princeton settling it down with 4 minutes to go and an 11-4 lead in the third quarter. Princeton attacking the cage down to our left. Nick Marzullo, as a freshman and a sophomore, started every game in net for the Highlanders, and then last year, kind of in and out of the lineup as the shot whistles wide and is backed up by Thompson by half a step. Marzullo started 10 games last year. Cameron Cronk, now a junior, started the other 5 for the Highlanders. Off the restart, Sowers. Matched up against Brett Goldstein. That's a short stick matchup for Sowers. Carries it above goal line extended. Passes off. Brown lets it fly, and he hit the pipe. Karam's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Tigers. May have also skimmed Marzullo. I think it hit the pipe and then caromed, although you didn't really get a loud sound. Tigers keep it either way. First time we've seen Jamie Atkinson out there today. He dodges in at number 25, doing his best Zach Currier impression and finding the back of the cage. 12-4 Tigers. First career goal for the freshman Jamie Atkinson, wearing that number 25. Big shoes to fill of the All-American Zach Currier. They really like Jamie Atkinson. Certainly not the same type of player, but he has his first career goal. So now Matt Madelon going just a little bit deeper into the bench with 3:08 to go in the third quarter, and the Tigers with a 12-4 lead. Schrappa back out there for the face-off. NJIT sends John Tayshaun out there. Last time, he basically conceded the face-off. This time, Schrappa shoveling it right back between his legs to Bonafide. Sam Bonafide has it, passes in. Robertson takes the low pass on his right knee. Sends it out to the midfield for Connor McCarthy, cradling and backing into the near side alley. Waiting for reinforcements. Starters still out there on offense for the Tigers. Austin Sims jogging in. Now Riley Thompson joining the fray. Austin Sims dodging in, passing. Sowers behind the cage. That's not Sowers. That's Andrew Bowman. Shot out in front, kicked aside. Out of the stadium. It'll stay with the Tigers. Long carom off the save by the goalie Marzullo. Andrew Bowman, first time we've seen him out there today, the sophomore from Darien, Connecticut. Shares that hometown with Tigers head coach Matt Madelon. McCarthy from 15 yards out, whistles it high. Bowman there for the backup. Andrew Bowman had an assist last year. He's out there for the Tigers. I believe Michael Sowers is on the sideline. Yes, he is. You would have to figure his day is probably done. Sims, I think he hit the post again. This one caroms out of bounds. Second time in the third quarter, Austin Sims has hit that post. Final 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. McCarthy bull rushing his way in, taking contact, nothing doing, so he'll carry behind the cage. Passes off to Brown, the freshman. That's the exciting thing if you're Princeton, is Brown puts it on the ground and the Tigers turn it over, and now they force it onto the turf. Ball rolling towards the net. Riley Thompson regaining possession for the Tigers. Here's Sims, winds and goes top shelf for the goal. Austin Sims. A little bit too much room to operate, and his big night continues. Sims, the third Tiger, with a hat trick tonight. It's 13-4 Princeton late in the third quarter. Third goal to go along with two helpers for Austin Sims. He has 5 points. Riley Thompson, 3 goals and an assist. He has 4 points. Michael Sowers on the sideline with 8 points. One shy of his career high. May not get a chance to tie that career high with a big lead late in the third quarter. Schroppa to take it for the Tigers. Song top wing, Arnold bottom side. This time Gonzalez was back out there. A whistle and another violation against the Highlanders gives it to the Tigers. Chris Brown operating in the midfield. Sims is out there. The Tigers send Braden Gate out as well. And Emmett Cordray. Second midfield line. Sims has the hat trick. Off near side, Cordray back up top. Sims lets it rip. Marzullo with a nice stick side save. Pretty good look by Sims, but that save a little bit too easy for Nick Marzullo, right at his chest. 40 seconds to go in the third quarter as NJIT works it into the box to our right. Princeton, after this one, will stay at home for their next couple of games. They'll welcome Rutgers in Saturday, and then a week from Saturday, Penn for the Ivy League opener. Islanders have scored once here in the third quarter. 15 seconds to go in the third. Out to the midfield for Darrow. Passes it near sideline to Irwin. Irwin leaves it off Robillard. 8 seconds to go. One-on-one with Williams. Bounces the pass. High carom off the stick of Princeton's Nick Bauer. Darrow winds, fires, and slings it wide at the horn. 3 quarters in the books. Princeton leads NJIT 13-4. Back after this on the Princeton IMG Sports Network and the Ivy League Network.
Joint implants customized to match your unique anatomy. Advanced technology for precise navigation. And the only hospital in the capital region with Mako robotic arm-assisted surgery for increased accuracy and shorter recoveries. Make a difference in your knees, your hips, your life. RWJ Hamilton. Let's be healthy together.
Whoever said that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line never said anything about the quality of the ride. With Suburban Transit Coach USA, you can charter a luxury motor coach for all of your special occasions. From your wedding day to corporate events, sightseeing, trips to the casino, sporting events, and concerts. Enjoy free amenities on board, things like Wi-Fi, restrooms, and movies. So to book your charter anywhere in the US or Canada, just contact our sales office today.
A message from the New Jersey Office of the Attorney General. Traffic stops can be stressful for everyone. For tips on how to help a traffic stop go quickly, smoothly, and safely, go to safestopnj.com. Cody Crushell back with you under the lights on a chilly Tuesday here on the Princeton campus. The Tigers lead the NJIT Highlanders 13-4. An 8-point day for Michael Sowers. He has a hat trick along with Riley Thompson and Austin Sims. Third straight year, the Tigers and Highlanders tangling. Back to the midfield shield logo here at Sherrod Field. Jack Henry Vara back out there, the freshman to take the face-off for the Tigers against Gonzalez for the Highlanders. A whistle, a hold. It's against Princeton, so it'll be NJIT ball. It was a 9-3 game at halftime. The Tigers in that third quarter outscoring NJIT 4-1. Highlanders, I've said a couple times, it's their 5th year as a program. It is their 4th year as a program. Monmouth, who the Tigers opened against, their 5th year as a program. So the Tigers taking on the 2 youngest New Jersey lacrosse programs so far, and then they'll take on the other elder statesmen. Princeton and Rutgers have been playing lacrosse since the 1800s, and those 2 teams will meet once again on Saturday with the Maestro Cup on the line. Scarlet Knights got the Tigers last year in a midweek game, a chilly night up on the banks of the Raritan, but the Tigers have still won 26 of the last 28 in that series. Rutgers will come into that one ranked 13th in the nation. Ball's down on the turf, trickling towards the near sideline. Song has it. Bounce pass to Arnold. He takes a high hit, ball lodged loose, and the Highlanders have it. Took a stick to the mask, and now we get a flag in on the near side against the Tigers. Likely against Song for a hit near the sideline. Kevin Faltasek took the brunt of that for the Highlanders. He's slow as he walks off to the bench. Free possession here for the Highlanders with a flag down and 13:15 to go in the 4th. Flag is down. It's getting lost in the Princeton bench. 13-4, Highlanders trailing. They will go man up unless they can score here. Forster has 2 of the 4 goals. Looking for space, finds Darrow, a bouncer and a goal for NJIT. Ryan Darrow, the junior out of Hunterdon Central. Local product makes it 13-5.
NJIT goal scoring at 27, Ryan Darrow. The penalty is...
So that'll wave off the penalty. The flag was down. Highlanders take advantage of the free possession and make it an 8-goal game. Jack Henry Vara for the Tigers. Adam Gonzalez for the Highlanders. Bauer and Duncan on the near wing. Bonafide and Tayshawn on the far wing. Face off won by the Tigers. Vara wins it to himself and then gets upended. And the Highlanders have possession. Bauer gets the stick on it, knocks it away, and the Tigers force the turnover. Bonafide with the ball in his cross. Feeds it up ahead to Andrew Bowman, who stays out there. Bowman joined by Walker and McKenzie, so and Madelon going somewhat deep into the bench. Strib Walker pulls down the high pass. Tigers attacking the cage to our right. Walker on the run, and he scores. Strib Walker's a junior, had not attempted a shot in his career coming into the night, but he just picked up his second goal. 14-5, Tigers on top. Strib Walker's a junior from Richmond, Virginia. The past 2 years, he's been primarily a defensive midfielder, and he's battled injuries. 2 years ago as a freshman, limited to just 8 games. Last year, season was slowed by an injury, and he's scored twice tonight. Tigers trying to develop some of that depth in the midfield. A lot of youth on attack, but in the midfield, there's some opportunities for players to step up. You don't look too far ahead, but Riley Thompson is a senior, and Austin Sims is a senior. Connor McCarthy just a sophomore. But Walker making a good impression tonight. 14-5 Tigers with 12:13 to go in the fourth. Vera wins the faceoff. Feed inside, Bowman, his shot wide. Brown trying to chase it down, near sideline down to our right. Ball loose on the turf. Tayshawn has another ground ball for NJIT. John Tayshawn, the sophomore from Pompton Plains, New Jersey, the team leader in ground balls. Picked up one right there, and for Tayshawn, that was his 4th on the evening. Actually, that's his 6th ground ball. He has 4 caused turnovers. Big night defensively for the sophomore. Highlanders attacking the cage to our left. We have a change in net. Tyler Blaisdell's night is done. John Levine is in. I believe that change happened at the start of the 4th quarter. Levine in there for the 2nd time this season. Blaisdell, the senior, Levine, the sophomore from Ridgewood, New Jersey, prepped right down the road at the Hun School. Only other appearance this season came 2 weeks ago down in Charlottesville against Virginia. 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Tigers have a 9-goal lead. Highlanders have possession, though. Here's a shot up high and a save by Levine. Good-looking shot on the run that time by Irwin. Tigers quickly up ahead in transition. From left to right on the run, Williams, a bouncer through traffic. Off the back of a defender. Karam's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Tigers. Hit somebody. I don't believe that got all the way through to Marzullo, but either way, the Tigers maintain it. There's that burst of speed by Chase Williams, one of the best athletes on campus. Last year, played a significant role as a freshman lacrosse walk-on in the defensive midfield. Also one of the top special teams players for Bob Serace and the football team. Reserve linebacker and safety, still just a sophomore. Brown gets doubled, gives it up, shot by McKenzie. Blocked before it got to the cage. Long carom out to the midfield where Brown scoops it up. Here's Atkinson, stutter step, winds, fires, and hits the crossbar. 3rd time in the 2nd half the Tigers have hit the goal. It's out of bounds. McKenzie will restart. 14-5. The Tigers have had some great opportunities they haven't been able to convert. Carter Zavitz, the freshman, is out there for the first time. He's wearing number 37. Passes to Bowman. Bowman trying to wrap it around. Had it knocked out of his stick as he carried around the top side. Ball is loose. Battling for position out near the NJIT restraining line. Still pinballing near the side of the cage. And it's the Highlanders scooping it up behind the cage. Kevin Faltasek has the ball. Trying to carry it in transition. He'll curl back and pass it off to Valdez. Actually, Luke Binder up ahead to Plokoy, who puts it on the turf. Plokoy maintaining the handle. A little bit sloppy on the clear for the Highlanders, still trying to carry it in, and they're finally able to. And a timeout taken by the Highlanders and head coach Travis Johnson. .56 to go, Princeton 14, NJIT 5. We will keep it here. Travis Johnson, he took over. He was hired December 2013. The Highlanders, their 4th season with a lacrosse team, and for Travis Johnson, didn't have a lot of time to put that first team on the field. A player with a ton of Division I experience as an assistant coach, Mount St. Mary's. Before that, Penn State and then Stony Brook. And for the Highlanders, it's a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. This is their third straight season playing without a home field, at least an on-campus home field. For the third straight year, they're playing their home games about a half hour, 40 minutes away in Madison, New Jersey, Drew University. So next year, next spring, they'll finally move back on campus. And that's probably the next step to try to get into a conference. NJIT, one of 3 Division I programs without a conference. Hampton and Cleveland State, 2 relatively new programs. 2 other relatively new programs also still looking for a home. For the Highlanders, winless in 2015, 1 win in 2016. It came late in the season against an Ivy League team. They beat Dartmouth up in Hanover. And then last year picked up a lone win against Hampton. Out of the Highlanders' timeout, it'll be NJIT possession, working at the cage to our left, which is now manned by the sophomore backup John Levine. 14-5, Princeton in command here with 8:42 to go in the fourth quarter. Colton Johnson kind of landed awkwardly as he took the pass. He'll work it behind the cage. Forster's had a big day offensively. 2 of the Highlanders' 5 goals. He's picked up by David Sturts out there with the pole. NJIT cycling it back out to the midfield. A bouncer sticked aside by Levine. A flag comes in from behind the play. Another free possession for the Highlanders. Here's Johnson firing, bouncing it wide from 15 yards out. And the Highlanders will go man up here midway through the fourth quarter.
Some fouls on number 26, Daniel Winshew. 1 minute for unnecessary roughness.
Unnecessary roughness against the senior Daniel Winshew. NJIT man up for the second time today. They were not able to score their first time up. They turned the ball over about 15 seconds in. Second man up opportunity for the Highlanders. 7 of 26 on the season with the extra man. Down here by 9 goals with 7.5 minutes to go in the fourth. 6 on 5 for the Highlanders. Darrow passes it up top. Gives it up. Gets it back, top of the formation. Here's Forster, lets it fly and rips it home. Aaron Forster, the junior, their leading scorer, completes the hat trick and makes it 14-6. For Forster, that's his team-leading 4th man-up tally of the season. So NJIT able to capitalize on their second man-up opportunity of the night, and they make it a 14-6 contest. If you're the Highlanders, still a young program, still in your 4th season, you kind of look for the little victories where you can get them. 2 years ago, 21-4 in this game. Last year, 22-8, just a little bit closer this year. Never really in the game, but certainly not a blowout by any stretch of the imagination as they win a face-off. It's 14-6. Here's Duncan, and he scores off the face-off win. NJIT has cut it in half. It's a 14-7 game. Sean Duncan, first goal of his NJIT career. This transfer from Robert Morris. Off the NJIT face-off win. It's a 7-goal contest here in the fourth. Philip Thompson out there to take the face-off now for the Tigers with his 7-goal lead in the fourth quarter. Thompson against Sean Bannon. Highlanders. So the Tigers want the hold, and they will get it. Possession awarded to Princeton. Braden Gate Working it to McKenzie. They cycle it in as we hit the 7-minute mark in the fourth quarter. 14-7, Tigers on top. We have not seen Michael Sauer since the middle of the third quarter. 8-point day, 3 goals to go along with 5 assists as the shot is wide. Backed up by Bowman to keep it with the Tigers. Austin Sims with a hat trick, Riley Thompson with a hat trick. Chris Brown gets NJIT tangled up, a step on the defense, a bouncer and a goal for the freshman. Chris Brown, he's big at 6'2", 200 pounds, but showing off the burst of speed. First goal of the day for Chris Brown, who came into this one as the Tigers' second leading scorer. And after the Tigers give up that face-off goal, they get it right back. It's 15-7. Thompson will stay out there for the draw. He'll match up against Tyler Stevenson. Princeton mixing it up on the wings. Bauer on the near side. Bonafide up top. Nick Marzullo still in net for NJIT. Tigers change their netminder at the start of this fourth quarter. John Levine, the sophomore, is out there. Thompson wins it cleanly. He'll pass it off and then book it off to the sideline. Firing up his teammates. Thompson, the sophomore. Shot by the Tigers. Whistles wide. Bowman again there to back it up. Quick restart. Tigers working from left to right. 6.5 minutes to go in the fourth. Atkinson, McKenzie, joined by Jeffers Guthrie in the midfield. A lot of bodies playing for the Tigers in this one. Here's Jeffers Guthrie. McKenzie, high pass. Atkinson pulls it on. One-on-one with a short stick. Atkinson already scored his first career goal earlier in this second half. Passes off to Brown. Brown and Thompson, the two starters, still in there on the attack. Whistle against the Tigers gives it back to NJIT. Under 6 minutes to go, Highlanders go on the attack. They go into their bench. Grant Toller's in there for the first time. Forster comes out to the midfield, passes it off Darrow. Darrow picked up by Arnold. Darrow dodging in, near side save by Levine. Just cut off that angle. Darrow got a little bit too deep on the near side. Second save for John Levine. He's allowed 3 goals today. Tyler Blaisdell, kind of the story of his season at home. Great first half, struggling in the second half. Blaisdell 3 saves tonight. They all came in the first half. 5 minutes to go. Here's Bowman, a step behind the defense. Not looking to shoot, though, looking to pass. Princeton has this one in hand with an 8-goal lead with 5 minutes to go. Bowman. Offense going through him at X. Up to Robertson, back to the midfield. Another new face out there, Luke Crimmins, wearing number 31 for the Tigers. Here's Crimmins, trying to sidestep his man. Instead, he'll curl back to the top of the box. Crimmins, left-handed shot, a bouncer without much behind it. Marzullo knocks it down. Marzullo has it, quick outlets, top side. Here's Faltasek. He'll clear in. Faltasek with the pole. Thought about letting it fly. Instead, he'll get his teammates involved. Pass over the top of the defense. On the run, Johnson, a bouncer, sprinting it off the sideline, and he beats Levine. NJIT answers. It's a 15-8 contest. Colton Johnson, the freshman, out of Episcopal Academy, north of Philadelphia. Second goal of his young career to make it 15-8. Philip Thompson at the face-off X for the Tigers. Thompson for Princeton. A whistle. It's against Thompson. Gonzalez give him the face-off win on the violation. Quick restart. John Tashon with the ball for NJIT. Top of the box, he'll play catch with Robillard, the junior from Ontario. Princeton 15, NJIT 8. 4 minutes to go in this contest in Princeton, New Jersey. Tigers, if they hang on, would even up their record at 2-2 heading into that big non-conference game against Rutgers Saturday. The Highlanders continue this 6-game road swing, although you can argue everything's a road game for them because they still don't have that on-campus facility completed. They'll head up to Western Massachusetts, 1 o'clock Saturday at UMass. Three and a half minutes to go. Darrow in the midfield, passes it topside. NJIT starting it up from between the stripes. Back to the near side. Johnson picked up by Caputo, the defensive midfielder. Johnson scored the last goal for the Highlanders. This time passes it off. Carrying center picked up quickly was Fogarty, the freshman. He gets knocked down. Roberts forces the turnover. Aaron Roberts out of the starting lineup tonight, but causing the turnover late in this one and clearing for the Tigers. Roberts, a guy who was born in Dublin, moved to California when he was 12. He has missed the bulk of the last 2 seasons with a couple of different injuries. McKenzie working in the midfield late in this one with Braden Gate. Now Jeffers Guthrie joining the team. 15-8 Tigers on top. Guthrie trying to shake his man. He gets taken down from behind and he turns it over. Highlanders have it. Tayshawn with another ground ball. He's had a huge night defensively. High pass. They have lost it in the lights. That was Mark Bannon looking across the field. He lost it. It goes out of bounds. So the Tigers get it back with 2:15 to go in this one. Wasn't a bad pass. He was just looking directly into that light stanchion as the rain begins to fall. Chilly, cold, windy, and now damp night. A shot saved by Marzullo. Came from the near side, Drew O'Connell, who now books it back off to the sideline. Tayshawn has it. 2 minutes to go in this one. 15-8 Tigers lead. Tigers trying to close out their 3rd victory in as many meetings against their neighbors from Newark, New Jersey. Highlanders trying to tack on one more goal and make this one a little bit closer. Certainly a team that's improved each of the last 3 seasons when we've seen them now in their 4th year as a program. Attacking the cage to our left, Tyler Blaisdell played the first 3 quarters. Now John Levine out there, the sophomore. Forster bounce pass to X, 1:15 to go. First time we've seen Noah Kepis in the game. He'll work it out to the midfield. Colton Johnson, 1-on-1. Has the short stick. Gates actually out there playing defensive midfield. He knocks his man down. Ball is down on the turf. We have a charge, and that'll keep it with the Highlanders. Braden Gate not used to playing a ton of defense. Good job to lodge it free, but just ran his man over with a minute to go. 15-8 Tigers, 8-point night for Michael Sowers, putting him over 100 in his Princeton career, the fastest to reach that mark in program history. 35 seconds to go. Here's Darrow. Top of the box, trying to shake Bauer. Splits the defense, sidewinds it wide, backed up by a teammate with 29 seconds to go. Quick restart down to our left. Kepis looking to get above goal line extended, nothing doing, passes it off Forster. Final 20 seconds here at Sherrod Field. Still a light rain falling. Forster scored for the 20th consecutive game, but not nearly enough. The Tigers are going to win this one handily. Final 10 seconds. Darrow to Kepis up top. Time for one final shot if they want it. There's a shot. It tricks wide from Max Wilson. There's the final horn. And the Tigers are back to 500. They win it over NJIT here on a rainy Tuesday, 15-8. An 8-point night for Michael Sowers. Joining him with hat tricks, Austin Sims and Riley Thompson. Didn't see much of Sowers or Thompson in the second half as the Tigers prevail by a score of 15-8. Our next broadcast on the Ivy League Network, a game that will also be available on ESPN3, is this Saturday, 1 o'clock. Princeton against 13th ranked Rutgers. Those teams separated by about 15 miles. An easy trip for the Scarlet Knights down Route 1 as they battle for the Meistrel Cup. 1 o'clock on the Ivy League Network and ESPN3 Saturday. For those of you watching on the Ivy League Network, we will say so long as the Tigers win it 15-8. For those of you listening on the radio and the TuneIn app on the Princeton IMG Sports Network, we'll be back after this for the RWJ Barnabas Health post-game show. The Princeton Tigers win it over NJIT 15-8 here on the Ivy League Network and the Princeton IMG Sports Network.